Hey guys, it's Helen with
Kathy and Magnus.
Yeah, you can kind of see him
up there a minute ago.
You can kind of see him. It's top 10 time. It's been a hot minute since we did a top 10 time. I'm trying to like poke myself with a rock and things. How you guys doing? Yeah. How you doing?
It's been a day.
Yeah. But we're hoping that doing some recording will like take the edge off or something.
As long as the edge of the nails don't go into my leg.
Well.
Okay, good. We're done.
There's the parenting.
Yeah.
So I left my water way over there. Ay, Ave Maria. Kathy, what is this top 10 about?
This top 10 is about top 10 herb books.
And this is a reshoot because we've already made this video.
I lost it.
And I don't know what I did to it, but
You lost it. That's what you did.
mysteriously vanished. Ooh. So, yeah. So, we wanted to do a video on... No, Magnus. No mouse is safe. Even the mouse.
He just wants to know what we're doing.
He's usually the good one. Anyhow, okay.
He's not.
Okay, so top 10 herb books. These are herb books that we own or have heard of that are that we think make the cut. Basically, how's that?
Yes.
That's a fair assumption, right?
Now, they may or may not be the best herb books out there, but they're ones we found useful.
Right.
And it's in no particular order.
Right. So let's jump in.
Sure.
Okay, so the first book is Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. This is an oldie but a goodie. This is Scott Cunningham, of course, is I think of him as the father of the correspondence books, because he did books on everything. So this is like a second edition, I believe. And I like this book because it gives you, there is a little sketch. Look, I just happened to open a peppermint. So let me see here. You have a little sketch of the plant, which can be good, can be bad. Quite frankly, it can be mediocre, but hey, at least there's something there. It gives you the Latin name, gives you folk names, what gender it's associated with, the planet, if there is one, the element, the deity, if there's one that's associated, the magical uses and powers, and you'll even get a little bit of folklore in this. And so this is a really good all-around magical necessity. I'm going to call it a necessity. I'm going to go out on the bench there and I'm going to say necessity. In the back, it's got some appendices with some tables with groupings of like masculine herbs all grouped together, and then herbs that go with your planets. So if you were working on planetary things, and then by intent. So lust, herbs, meditation to aid, and stuff like that. So this one is a good one.
And in the same vein, we have Scott Cunningham's Magical Aromatherapy book. This is like the herb book, has a lot of information about the plants, the parts used, the planets, elements, magical influences. I'm sure you can't see that.
Yeah.
There are no sketches.
No, because that's what the other book is for.
Right. And it's got how to use them, the aromas of the elements, the aromas of the planets. Also, it has some recipes for some oils that you can make for yourself, like protection oil, spirituality oil.
I'm kind of surprised by the size of that book,
because
it's like a trade paperback size.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you what's not so small. The bibliography is pretty extensive.
That's good.
There's also a nice index in the back. We love indexes.
Indexes are always super helpful.
Awesome. So,
and I should say that for the most part, these the aromatherapy book and the encyclopedia, those are going to be like in an alphabetical order. So that's kind of nice when you're in the meat and bones of looking for the stuffs.
Right.
So, and
aromatherapy.
There's a few bookmarks in that one.
So we included this because it also has a lot of plant stuff in here, even though it's an aromatherapy book.
I'm pretty sure he'll go into like how to make your own oils.
Right.
And different things like that. So
Right,
that's
and
always...
what part of the plants to use. There's some stuff in here about fragrances used by various peoples like the Greeks and Romans, the Native Americans, the Sumerians. So pretty interesting history as well as the botanical stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yes. This one is I'm trying to use this one a little bit more. This is the Northern Shamanic Herbal. This is by Raven Kaldera. I picked this up a few years ago at Convocation. And so this is a lot of Raven's work as a Northern shaman. From the Northern tradition. And so this is a lot of work that he's done. He has his own pagan homestead, and so they grow a lot of things there and stuff like that. So this has definitely like a Norse tint to things. This one's cool. There's drawings throughout, but let me see, where are we?
You're not on a drawing. No. Yeah, there you go.
So it doesn't necessarily, it's not really like a plant drawing necessarily, but it might be associated with that particular plant. So this, he's got it broken down into, it has the botanical names, so that's always helpful. More folk names, but then he also shares like Anglo-Saxon names, modern German name, modern Swiss names, modern Danish and Norwegian, deities that are associated, the height. So there's some really good magical information, plus there's really good botanical information. So you'll know how high it grows. What season? Is it a perennial or is it an annual? There's also...
They have the hardy zones?
There's point. I don't know if that's...
but maybe it is.
It might, because I'm not really sure.
I'm not used to.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. But, so he breaks it down into medicinal uses. There's history, culinary uses, whether or not you can eat it or not. Magical uses, shamanic uses, which, sometimes that can have different meanings. Affinity, so like firestorm, things like that. Plant rights, nature. Not entirely sure what that's all about. And, a medicinal charm. There's a lung healing charm for this. Of course, I pick one that I can't even pronounce.
Elecampane?
Yeah, so this is kind of cool, and I think of this kind of like as a specialized one. So I'm trying to remember to use this one a little bit more, too. So there's that one. Number 4.
Susan Weed's Healing Wise.
There you go.
So Susan Weed does a lot when it comes to herbs. Doesn't she have a YouTube channel?
She has a YouTube channel. I remember, I'll link that in the description box.
She does correspondence classes. So this book is one of her many books on herbalism. Covers things like the wise woman tradition, and then,
which is her tradition.
Then she goes very in depth on several plants, like the dandelion is this thick. Mm-hmm. She's got nettle and chickweed and burdock, and there's
a scientific spiral.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. She's been an herbalist for a number of years, and she's really about going out and like wildcrafting your own herbal plant matter. And so that's kind of cool. That's what a lot of things that she covers on her YouTube videos. So this is kind of like a specialized book in that she's only covering like specific, there's a
plants.
Handful of plants that she covers.
But the ones she does cover, she has so pharmacy, and they've got what you can use the sap for, and the flowers, and all the properties of it. And then she has recipes, food recipes. What else? Just a lot of different things on these specific topics. History, botanical uses. Just very, very interesting. Just not, I'm sure she has other books that cover a lot of things, but in the back it talks about things like drying herbs and buying herbs, how to make medicines, you know.
She does a lot of that. She does a lot of tincture making and syrups and things like that. So, yeah.
So that's healing wise.
Yes.
And then, is the next one?
Yep.
Okay, so we don't actually have the next one, but I have a picture of the next one. It's also by Susan Weed, and it's called The Childbearing Year.
So this one came recommended from Crystal, if I remember correctly. So this has got a lot of plant information for childbearing.
So the year that
stuffs.
you're trying to get pregnant and you have the baby and probably breastfeeding.
Yeah, so there'll be a lot of nutrition and things that you could, that you could
what to
use,
what to avoid.
right, and things like that. So
What herbs are good for maybe milk production or things of that nature.
Right.
Morning sickness. Again, I've never seen the book. I don't really know much about it. But
Yeah.
if you have seen the book and you do know more about it, please leave a comment and let us know what you think about that book.
And we wanted to include it because of its specificity.
Right.
For the subject. Okay, so that was 4. Number 5 is Christopher Penczak's The Plant Spirit Familiar. This is an interesting book. I haven't read all of it. I've kind of breezed through it. But he gets in depth. It's not really like the Cunningham book that is like a correspondence book. This is about, how to closer work with the Deva spirits and how to, totem wise and different things like that. So this is about building relationships with plants and how to do that rather than the correspondence type work. So this one is really kind of groovy. This is on the list to really delve into.
Are there recipes in there? Did I see recipes as you were flipping through?
Oh, there might have been. There's all kinds of stuff. There's
rituals,
meditations and rituals and.
So this is more working with the plant directly rather than cooking or magical or.
Right. Yeah. This is about like I said, developing that relationship with the Deva spirit. So this is groovy. Ba-dum-bum. And I should say, while Kathy's revving up, there will be links for all of these books in Amazon down below.
So the next book is Ellen Dugan's Garden Witchery. Now, I don't know if any of you are familiar with Ellen Dugan, but she was a master gardener as well as a witch. So she has a lot of information about gardening in itself, how to harvest, how to plant, when to plant. There's folklore about flowers. There's how to plan out your garden. There's just a lot of good information in here for a gardener, not necessarily magically, although there's a lot of magic stuff in here. There's a lot of crafts, how to make sachets, what to use, if you need a prosperity sachet, bath salts. There's a lot of different recipes in here for use. As I said, she's a master gardener, so very interesting stuff in there.
So there's a lot of mundane and magical.
Right. And there's a gardening journal. So in the back it has a section where you can, I planted this in May, and this is what happened. This is what happened in June, July.
Maybe you could plan out your garden.
So you can plan things better and make notes, because in anything it's good for you to
make notes on how things
and what worked and what didn't work, so that next time you can.
Did lilies grow well for you?
Right. Right.
Or whatever.
So then the next one is Dorothy Morrison's Bud, Blossom, and Leaf. I'm getting a shine from the light over there.
Yeah.
This also has a lot of planting stuff, but it is magical in nature. So you bless the seeds, and she's got a seed blessing. And then she has chants for using while you're weeding, and chants for using while you're watering, and protection charms, and harvesting things to say and do, and how to cut, and just natural bug remedies and just a lot of magical stuff. And there's some recipes in the back on what to do with your herbs.
I really need to pick this book up because I don't have that one.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's Miss Dorothy. How can you?
It's Miss Dorothy.
Miss Dorothy's awesome.
Right? We love Miss Dorothy.
We do love Miss Dorothy. So, Bud, Blossom, and Leaf. I don't know if it is in print. I got this on Amazon used.
And it might be. Or it might not be.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll find out when I check the links and stuff. It's 2001.
Yeah, this one is.
Yeah. But
So,
that's
anyway,
cool to
super
have that
interesting.
kind of a bend on things. Okay, so the next book is a monster. Bam, boom, pa. This is the complete book of essential oils and aromatherapy. I saw this book and it happened to be on sale, and I was like, had no intention about buying anything, but started flipping through it, and I was like, I should take this home. It's really cool. It's like 700 pages, and it's got the different chapters cover like a specific genre of needs. So like, let's see, the gentle touch for babies, children, and teenagers. It's got a whole chapter on men, the natural choice for men. There's a whole chapter for women, and the women's stuff will also, it covers varicose veins, but it also covers like pregnancy related issues and nursing and stuff like that. And so there's recipes and essential oils for spasticity. I don't know what that is. But, so there's a relaxing massage blend, and it has like how many drops to put in it and different things like that. So this, I thought it was kind of cool. I mean, I should say that you should always seek medical attention if you have issues. However, there are some things in a book like this that you can try.
Spasticity is the tightness or pulling of muscles.
There you have it.
Sorry,
For children.
Yeah, any of the quote-unquote medical advice in any of these books, check with your doctor, please. And
if you're interested in holistic medicines, there's always different classes that are going to be available. So, you know, if you're interested in something like that, then I would suggest looking into it. But this, I just thought was an interesting thing to have on hand to, you know, kind of look at and see, you know, what could be useful. There's even like the fragrant way to beauty and things like that. So it's interesting. It's a cool reference book. Bam. And then the final book.
Oh, and we have a bonus.
Oh, right. Well, the final book on the top 10 list is, this is a relatively new one. This is Blackthorn's Botanical Magic. The Green Witch's Guide to Essential Oils for Spellcraft, Ritual, and Healing. I got this for Yule last year from the Roomie, and I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but I've heard people say good things about it, and that's what prompted me to want it to begin with. And so Amy Blackthorn, she's, I think she's a pretty new author on the scene, and this is a wiser book. So I can't wait to kind of jump into here, but I did do some perusing, and there's different recipes in here as well. There's lore. There's some specifics, like here's a whole page on black pepper. That page right there. So it gives, it has a scent description. That could be helpful. The botanical name, the family, where it originated from, planet, astrological. Oh, look, it's an Aries. No wonder I opened it to that. Yeah, so there's like a whole section where she's covering specific herbs and going into the herbal lore. Oh, okay, and the recipes have to do with each herb. So that's kind of cool. Sacred anointing oil with cinnamon. Bless this house floor sweep. Strong roots. yeah, so this will be an interesting one. I can't wait to get into that one too. So that's it for the actual top 10. And there's a bonus. What's the bonus?
So the bonus is not a magical book at all, but it is an herbal book. And I don't know if this is still available because I bought this probably 20 years ago. But this book is a very good reference guide. So it has the picture of the plant. It's a drawing. And then it goes into all of the Latin stuff and whether or not it's ornamental and how to cultivate. And it's got history, when it flowers, what range that it's in. And this cover, and there is some pretty pictures in the middle. This covers, I mean, you name it, it's in here. And there is some pretty pictures. There's some...
oh, that's dyes.
Yeah, dyes
Using
for
herbs for
herbs.
dyes.
Yeah. They got a huge section on hawthorn, plus all these, I don't mean to hit you.
That's fine.
Pretty pictures of echinacea. And it's really interesting. There's some like little tidbits. There's a sidebar about hallucinogens. There's, they're all scattered throughout here, lots of different information. This is Rodale's Illustrated Encyclopedia of Herbs. And if I can't find this one, then something similar would be good. Again, no magical anything in here, but all...
It's a good reference if you're wanting to know, like if you're wanting to make tinctures, like what part of the plant do you use, different things like that. I checked my shelf and I believe I have this exact book.
Do you?
I'm pretty sure.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's even got illustrations on types of leaves, plants as house plants, just lots of or pests.
Pests. Yeah.
So
if you want to get more into like gardening,
the actual
then
gardening
something
part
like
of it.
that might be helpful for you as far as, finding out some useful information.
Right.
So
that's the bonus.
And it's a bigger, it's a one of those whoppery type ones that means lots of good information.
Lots of meat in that.
So yeah. So there you go. Top 10 plus a bonus. Herb books. So do you own any of these books? Is there a book that you have that we don't have on the list?
That you would recommend? Because we could always do another top 10 list if we get enough.
Or we could always buy another herb book and check out. So yeah, we like to give our opinions on books, and so we like to get opinions in return as well. So let us know if there's something that you have and enjoy that we don't have on the list. Yeah, so if you liked this video, if you haven't done so already,
I don't know where the button is.
Subscribe. It's down there somewhere. It's red.
There.
Look for the red button and hit it.
All right, and you could share this on your social media
yes,
or with your other friends.
Be sure to check out the description box. Like I said, I'll put a link there to Susan Weed's channel, and I'll put links for all of the books that are on the list. And there's also going to be links in the description box for social medias. So Facebook, my Instagram, Kathy's Instagram. So make sure you check those out. And I think that's it. So thanks for checking out this top 10. We love to have you checking stuff out.
If you have suggestions for other top 10s, let us know.
Definitely, for sure. All right, so that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and thanks for walking the path for a little while with us. Until next time, blessed be.